Good morning, beloved. Before I bring you a single request this morning, I want to do something I do not always do with the fullness it deserves. I want to thank you, not quickly, not as the polite opening of a prayer that is really about something else. With genuine, unhurried, honest from the inside gratitude for everything you have already given me before this day has even properly begun. Thank you for this morning. Thank you that when I opened my eyes there was light. When I drew breath, there was air. When my heart resumed its rhythm after the night, it was because your hand was still sustaining it. All of that happened before I had a single conscious thought. Before I had chosen faith or doubt, gratitude or complaint, prayer or silence. You had already been faithful. You had already been providing. You had already been holding my life together with the same effortless, faithful, never-failing care you extend to everything you have made. Thank you, Father. Thank you for this body you have given me. Not the body I sometimes wish I had, but this one, the one that carried me through yesterday and woke up this morning ready to carry me through today. The eyes that are reading this light, the ears that can hear, the hands that can hold and create and reach toward people I love, the legs that will carry me through this day. I have not always been grateful for these things. I have sometimes complained about this body rather than marveling at it. Forgive me for that. Millions of people would give everything they have for what I take for granted every morning. Thank you for the people in my life, not just the easy ones, the ones who are uncomplicated to love, who give as much as they receive, who have never caused me a moment of pain, all of them. The ones who have stayed through the hard seasons, the ones who showed up when showing up cost them something, the ones who prayed for me when I did not know I needed prayer. And yes, even the difficult ones. Because I am learning, Lord, that the people who have been the hardest to love have also been some of my most significant teachers. Teachers in patience, teachers in forgiveness, teachers in the particular kind of love that does not depend on being treated well in return. Thank you for all of them. Thank you for the home I woke up in this morning, for the roof that stood through the night, for the bed where I slept, for the walls that gave me safety in the dark when I was entirely unaware of how much safety I needed. There are people who did not sleep under a roof last night. There are people whose walls do not hold warmth. There are people who would call what I sometimes consider insufficient a miracle. Open my eyes today to what I actually have, Lord. Not what I wish were different. What is already here. Already provided. Already given by a hand that has been generous with me far beyond what I have always remembered to notice. Thank you for the work that gives me a way to provide for my life and the lives of the people in my care. Even when it is hard, even when it does not look the way I imagined it would look at this stage of my life, even when it is more demanding and less rewarding than I feel it should be. Thank you that I have it. Thank you for the ability to show up for it. Thank you for the strength and the skill and the capacity to do what needs to be done, all of which came from you, and none of which was mine before you gave it. Thank you for your faithfulness, Lord, the specific, traceable, undeniable faithfulness that runs through every chapter of my life if I stop long enough to actually look for it. Thank you for the doors you opened, and thank you, with the same sincerity, for the doors you closed. I know that sounds strange to speak, but I understand something now that I did not understand in the moment of every closing. Every door you closed was mercy wearing a disguise I could not see through at the time. Every no was protection from something that looked good from the outside and would have cost me more on the inside than I knew. Every delay was preparation, growing something in me that could not have been grown any other way. I trust your no as much as I thank you for your yes. Father, thank you even for the hard seasons, the ones I would not have chosen, The ones that broke things in me I did not know needed breaking. The valleys that felt like they were going to be permanent. The nights that felt like they were never going to end. The stretches of waiting that tested everything I thought I believed and forced me to find out whether faith was something I actually had or just something I had been saying. I found out, and what I found in the hardest places was you. You were there in the fire. You were there in the valley. You were there in the seasons that made no sense and the chapters I would not have written for myself. Not distant, present, working, sometimes invisible to my eyes but faithful in ways I could only trace when I was on the other side. Thank you for never wasting the hard things, Lord. Thank you for using every single difficult season for something. For growth that could not have happened in comfort. For depth that could not have been formed without pressure. For a faith that is no longer fragile because it has been tested and it held. Thank you for Jesus. Let me not say that quickly. Let me feel the weight of it before I move on. Thank you for a God who loved the world enough to enter it, who loved broken human beings enough to take the place of everything that was broken in us, who bore what I should have borne, who paid what I could never have paid, who stood between me and every consequence of everything I have ever done wrong, and said, I have taken this. It is finished. I am not who I was before that transaction. I am forgiven. Completely. Not almost completely. Completely. I am redeemed. I am restored. I am called a child of God. Not because I earned the title, but because the most extraordinary act of grace in the history of the universe made it mine. How do you thank someone for that? You live differently. You love differently. You choose differently. You carry the knowledge of what was done for you into every ordinary moment of every ordinary day, and you let it change the way you see everything. That is what I want to do today, Lord. Father, let me carry this gratitude with me as I step into this day, not just as a feeling that lasts for the length of this prayer, as an actual lens through which I see everything the day brings, the easy things and the hard things, the expected things and the ones I do not see coming, the moments of joy and the moments that ask something of me. When a challenge arrives today, and something will, let gratitude be my first response rather than complaint. Not because the challenge is not real, but because I serve a God who has never once failed to bring me through what He has allowed to come at me, and I can thank Him for that faithfulness even before I can see how this particular situation resolves. When something does not go the way I planned, and something will not, let me choose gratitude anyway, because I have learned slowly and sometimes reluctantly that your plans for my life are better than mine. And the place I arrived that I would not have chosen has often turned out to be exactly where I needed to be. Let gratitude be the atmosphere I carry today, into every room, into every conversation, into every ordinary moment that could be rushed past without notice, but is actually a gift from a God who is present in all of it. Father, use my life today. Let what has been poured into me flow outward. Let the encouragement I have received make me encouraging. Let the patience you have shown me make me more patient. Let the love that has been extended to me, extravagantly, unconditionally,